So let's get ourselves started. The main focus of today's class is just to concentrate on your belly breathing. So we're just going to start in a seated position, gently resting our hands on our knees. And just breathe nice and gently. Think about bringing your belly up and down. Just be aware of what your body is capable of today. It's different from one day to the next. You may have some stiffness today that you didn't have yesterday. Or you may not have the stiffness today that you had yesterday. So just listen to your body and work with it. So we're starting with our belly breathing. Just inhaling and exhaling. If you want to, you can place your fingers onto your belly and see how much the belly moves as you inhale. So I've got my middle fingers together and I'm just inhaling and exhaling. Close your eyes if you want, fingers on the belly. Just get that breathing into your mind. We're going to try and do that for every single movement that we do today. Just calming the body down, breathing gently. So it was quite high for pollen yesterday. So if you're struggling with hay fever or a little bit blocked in the nose, then just be aware that you can breathe through your mouth if you need to. But it will dry your throat out, so make sure you've got some water and you keep drinking. So we're just going to start with some nice simple movement, thinking about our belly breathing. So as you inhale, sit up nice and tall. Exhale, take the head over to the left. Inhale. And exhale over to the right. Inhale back, exhale. Inhale, belly breathing. Exhale over. Do that one more time to the right. So inhale, big belly breath. Exhale over. Inhale back to center. So bring your hands to the floor. And as you inhale with a big belly breath, you're going to bring your shoulders up to your ears. Feel your chest expand, your arms move away from your side. And as you exhale, slowly bring your arms down, your shoulders down, and your breath exhales. Inhale, coming up. Really feel that you expand through the ribs. And exhale, bring the shoulders down. Keep doing that. Inhaling up. And exhale down. And again. Inhale up. And exhale down. Sit nice and tall. We're going to inhale, take the right hand up to the sky. And we're just going to lean over to the side. Remember the belly breath, it's a bit harder when you're leaning over. But once you're in place, really focus on that breath. On your next inhale, bring your hand up towards the sky. Belly breathe, exhale out. Inhale up your left arm. Exhale over to the side. Now focus on your belly breath. Just gentle movements. Really getting the breathing flowing. Seeing if we can calm your vagus nerve. Just calm your parasympathetic nervous system. Turn off the sympathetic system, which is your fight and flight, which can be heightened if things aren't going our way. Really breathe. Inhaling and exhaling. And inhale, bring your arm back to the center. And exhale down. So we're just going to do a rotational move. We're going to do something slightly different. So keep your left leg where it is and bring your right knee out of cross-legged and just put it so that your foot is close to your knee. Take your right hand behind your back to balance you, just avoiding your cushion, and take your left arm and wrap it around the leg. So hopefully you're looking kind of in the direction of the foot that's on the floor, looking forward, putting a rotational stretch through your body. Keep your neck nice and neutral, you don't have to stretch it. If it feels good, stretch it. If it doesn't feel good, don't. Just breathe nice and gently. Remember your belly breath. It's a bit harder in this position because we've rotated and we've twisted all the muscles, so the muscles are active for holding you in place as well as breathing. And then slowly we're going to release the knee. So bring the knee down. And we're going to swap legs. So bring your right leg into position and uncurl your left leg. Put the left foot round near your right knee. This time, left hand goes behind your bottom and your right hand wraps around the knee and you're rotating round towards the front. Keep your neck nice and neutral, sit nice and tall and really try and fill your belly. Expand it out like a big balloon. A lot of times we try to hold our belly in to make ourselves look slim, but actually using the belly breath and using the muscles, pulsing the muscles, will help to make the muscles get stronger. Just breathing nice and slowly. Releasing any tension, seeing if you can twist around a little bit more. Keep your neck nice and neutral. And as you inhale, bring yourself back to the center. Just sit yourself nice and tall. Oh, we're just going to tuck our chin down towards our chest. Gently feel the stretch coming through the back of your neck. Your back should be nice and upright. Just take a few belly breaths with a big stretch through the neck. Relax your shoulders. And bring your head back up on your inhale. Okay, so we're going to do some work whilst laying on the floor. So I'm just going to take my cushion out and I'm laying on the floor. So we're just going to lay with bent knees. So bring your knees to a bent position and we're laying on the floor. So we're going to take the knees out to the side. So just bring your feet to shoulder width apart. And we're going to find a neutral spine. So you don't want your back squashed into the floor, so your tailbone is lifted, or arched in the opposite direction. You want to find a neutral spine and then engage the muscles in your tummy to hold your spine in place. Arms to the floor, shoulders down. I'm just going to rotate the legs nice and gently from one side to the other. Inhale, bring the legs back. Exhale, take them over to the right. Inhale up. And exhale over. Your back feels tight. Don't take them too far. Just gently rock the knees from side to side. Keep your back nice and neutral so when you come back to the center, your back's not pushing into the floor, but your tummy muscles are engaged. Don't forget we're belly breathing all the way through our session today. Bring the legs over one more time to the right. And then bring them back to the sky. So on your next inhale, keep your back nice and neutral. You're going to bring your right leg up, so you're lifting the foot. Your knee is at 90 degrees and your hip is at 90 degrees. And on your next exhale, bring the other leg up. So keep your back nice and neutral, belly squeezed in. We're going to inhale, lift the arms to the sky. We're just going to do alternate movement with the arms, and you want to keep your tummy nice and engaged, but remember your belly breath. So as you inhale, take your left hand back away from you towards the floor at the back, and take your right hand down towards your feet. So you've opened your shoulders, arms are in opposite directions. Bring them back together, so come back to the ceiling, and exhale them down. Remember to inhale with the belly breath. It's harder when you're in this position. Exhale, take the arms down. Inhale, bring them back up. Again, you're finishing with the left arm down, and bring them back to the center. And then slowly exhale, lower your hands to the floor and lower your feet to the floor. Bring your feet together, your back nice and neutral, and your knees together. We're going to come out into butterfly pose, Baddha Konasana. So you just bringing the soles of the feet together as you exhale. Keep your spine nice and neutral. Allow your knees to just relax. You can have your hands on the inner thighs to add a little bit of weight if you want to, or just gently rest them on the floor. Close your eyes. And allow yourself to breathe. If you feel tension in your lower back, you may be arching your back too much. So just push your back down towards the floor a little bit, not too much. Just gently breathing. Remember your belly breath. Push your trousers away from your belly. Really feel your belly breath. You can even put the fingers onto your belly and allow yourself to feel that your breath is actually taking place. So we're just going to do a little bit of activation on our tummy muscles while we're laying here. So inhale, and as you exhale, lift your head off the floor. Bring your hands towards your knees. And as you exhale, come on down to the floor. Inhale, bring yourself back up. And exhale, bring yourself down. Slowly, on your next inhale, bring your knees together, your feet together. And we're going to hug our knees to our chest. So bring your right knee in and your left knee in. Just squeeze them gently in. So hopefully you've got your strap close by the side of you. We're going to take the strap and wrap it around your right leg. Take the foot of your left leg to the floor, just to balance you. The knee is in the air, you're not flattening the foot out to start with. So take the strap in both hands, separate the strap out so you've got one part of the strap in each hand. And we want to really ideally lengthen and straighten the leg that's in the air. So get the leg nice and straight. And just gently use the strap to pull the leg towards you. We're trying to keep it straight, but if you feel the hamstrings or the calves are getting too tight, then just soften the knee ever so slightly. Think about your back, nice and neutral, and don't forget your belly breathing. And then we're going to take the heel of the leg that's on the floor away from us, slowly stretching that leg out. Try and keep the heel down all the way. The mat's a bit sticky, it might not go down so well. Just gently put a little bit more pressure onto the leg that's in the air. The leg that's on the floor, make sure you're pushing the heel away from you, stretching through your thigh, all the way down to your foot. And then gently release your leg. So keeping the body in this position, you're going to take the strap now in your right hand. So the same leg, and the same hand should be in the strap. Take your left arm down to the floor to balance you, and we're slowly going to take the leg that's in the air over, opening your thigh, so you're taking it out to the outside of the room. Hopefully you've got enough room in your, wherever you're doing your yoga. Try not to take any furniture out. Maybe adjust yourself if you are, and slowly allow the leg to come out. The arm by the side of you is there to help balance you, and you really want to squeeze the bottom of your right leg, sorry, your left leg that's on the floor, to keep the leg and the hip down on the floor. And slowly and surely you'll open the thigh out to where works for you. Just remember, we're belly breathing all the way through our session today. Keep your left leg on the floor. Just feel the stretch in your thigh, your inner thigh, around your knee, your calf. And then slowly inhale, bring the leg back to the centre. Use the strap to pull the leg up. Lovely. We're going to swap hands now. So take your left hand onto your strap. Right leg is still in the air. Take your right arm down to the floor to balance you. We're going to take the leg the other way. So just take it over to the side. And you might find that your hamstring's pulling a little bit here. So if it is pulling, just gently bend the knee and take the leg over slightly. The ultimate aim of this stretch is to feel it in your bottom, right into your glutes. And if you bend the knee if you have the knee too straight, you might find that your calf and your hamstring takes the pressure. So if it does, bend the knee. But if it doesn't, keep the knee straight and really look and hunt for that stretch through your bottom. I've had to take my leg over to about 45, 50 degrees to get that stretch into my bottom. Lovely. And just slowly allow that stretch to relax. Belly breathing, don't forget. I'm going to inhale, bring the leg back to the centre. And slowly we're going to swap to the other leg. So open your strap wide with both hands and inhale, lift your left leg up to the sky. Release your right leg and put the foot to the floor with the knee bent. And we're going to stretch the leg towards your face. Trying to keep the leg as straight as you can, taking into consideration any tension in your calves or your hamstrings. And then when you feel comfortable, make sure your back's nice and neutral, it's not too squashed into the floor. We're going to slowly take the right leg away from us, keeping the heel on the floor, slowly pushing it down towards the floor. Lengthen that foot away and feel the stretch coming into the leg that's in the air. Don't forget your belly breathing. Hopefully you're feeling nice and relaxed. So take the strap in your left hand, take your right hand down to the floor to balance you, out in a T position. Relax your shoulder, push your shoulder into the floor and try and push your right hip into the floor. And as you exhale, just slowly take the leg out to the outside of the room, again avoiding any furniture that's in the way. Slowly and surely feel the leg, allow it to stretch. Try not to rock over to the side, try and keep your body nice and straight. Allow the leg to come out to the side. You might find one leg will go lower than the other. There might be more tightness in one. It's always good to take note of what your body is saying. Aware of the stretch and make sure you're belly breathing. It's really easy to forget when you're trying to concentrate on a posture. So when you're ready, use the strap, bring the leg back to the centre, inhaling up. And we're going to swap hands. So right hand onto the strap, left hand down to the floor. Take the leg over to the other side. You don't have to take it all the way down to the floor to feel a stretch with this one. Just take it down to about 45, 50 degrees. So halfway between upright and the floor. And we're aiming for the stretch right in your bottom cheek. Hamstrings and calves are way too overpowering with the tension. Just release the knee ever so slightly. And that way you should feel it in your bottom. You might have to move the leg down or up. Just move it so that you know where you feel the stretch. Again, don't forget your belly breathing. And with the inhale, bring the leg back to the centre. And just gently release the strap from your legs and put it down to the side. So we're just going to knee hug. So bring both knees into your chest. Just gently rock from side to side. And then we're going to put left leg to the floor. Just put the foot to the floor, knee stays bent. And put your right ankle onto the knee. We're doing a figure of four stretch. So just allow your knee to head down towards the floor slightly, or away from your body, so you're feeling the stretch coming through the hips. If you want to, you can bring the left leg up to your chest. Depends on what kind of stretch you're after today. This is a stretch for your glutes. A different stretch depending on if you leave your leg on the floor or you bring the leg up. And if this stretch feels tight today, make sure you breathe into it. Try and get that muscle to relax. Take the tension out to your bottom. And then we're going to release that leg down to the floor. So release your hands, exhale, slowly lower the foot, and release your right foot and put it to the floor. We're swapping over. So left leg, foot comes to the knee. Figure of four. See about pushing the knee away from you. And then if you want to, you can always lift the right leg up and stretch the knee towards the chest. Don't forget those belly breaths. Breathing nice and deeply. Notice maybe if the stretch is bigger or smaller on one side to the other. Just try and adjust it to increase the stretch if you need to. And then we're going to slowly lower the right foot to the floor and release the left leg, left foot to the floor. So we're going to take our feet out to the edges of our mat, so little toes touching the edge of the mat. And we're going to do some twists with our knees and our legs. So take your legs over to the left-hand side, allowing the legs to come over towards the floor. Gentle stretch to start with. Inhale up, remember your belly breath. Exhale over. Do that again, inhale up. And exhale over. One more time over to the right, inhaling up and exhaling to the right. And inhale back to the center. So we're going to take our arms out into cactus position. So your arms are bent at 90 degrees and your elbows are in line with your shoulders. We're going to do the same stretch with our legs, but we're going to add the arms as well just to make it complicated. And even harder to remember to do your belly breath. So you're going to inhale and then exhale, take your legs over to the left and bring your left hand So your right hand down towards the floor. So you're bringing the hand down to the palm comes to the floor. You're going to inhale, bring your hand up, bring the other hand up, so you're swapping sides and you're stretching the knees out in the other direction. So your cactus arms are going up and down and your knees are going side to side. Should increase the way the stretch works through your belly. Inhale up with the legs and the arms pointing to the ceiling. Now swap that direction. Okay, so now we're going to make it a little bit more interesting. We're going to swap the arms to go in the opposite direction. So where you've got your arms at the moment, swap them so that your left arm goes up or down to the floor and your right arm goes up to the seat, up to the other end of the room. So now your arms are going to work in opposite directions to your knees. Okay, so inhale your knees up to the sky. And swap your arms over to the other side. So your right arm should be down and your knees should be down to the right. Okay, hope we've got that right. Inhale up, arms up to the ceiling, knees up to the ceiling. Exhale, take the arms down in the opposite direction. Inhale them up. And then exhale them down. And then bring yourself back to the centre. We're going to inhale, bring the right knee to the chest. Exhale, bring the left knee to the chest. Just gently squeeze the knees in. So let's bring the legs out to 90 degrees. Hips at 90 degrees, knees at 90 degrees, and your knees are shoulder width apart. Find neutral, engage your tummy muscles, and we're going to intertwine our fingers in front of us. So as you exhale, you're just going to take your hands down towards the floor. Make sure your shoulders stay down, don't lift them too far. Just take your hands to where your body allows. If you're shaking or anything, take it back. Inhale, lift them back to the ceiling. Exhale, take them down. Really feel the tummy muscles getting engaged as you take the hands all the way over to the floor. Inhale, bring them up. If you can, remember your belly breath. And exhale down. Inhale. Lift them up. Exhale them down. One more time, lift them up to the sky. And then slowly lower your knees to the floor, or your feet to the floor. Your feet should kind of be in bridge position. Your back should be nice and neutral, so just rock your back backwards and forwards, trying to find your neutral position. Arms down to the floor. And I want you to twist your head towards the side. So you're going to be looking down towards your shoulder. So inhale, belly breath. Exhale, take your head over to the left. And as you take your head over to the left, push your left hand away from you. So you're stretching the hand away towards your foot. You should feel some sort of stretch come through your neck. But only do it if it's comfortable. Take it back if it's uncomfortable. Inhale, bring your head back to the centre, release your arm. And over to the other side. Exhale, take your head to the left, to the right. Take your right arm down, away from you. I'm just going to keep doing that on either side. A couple more times. Exhale over to the left arm away from you. Inhale back, release your arm and your head. Exhale over to the right. Bring it back to the centre. So now we're going to do opposite arm and opposite head. So take your head over to the left. Stretch out your right arm. Inhale back to the centre. Opposite head to the right. Stretch out your left arm. Make sure your shoulders stay down. Inhale back to the centre. We do that one more time on either side. Head rocking over to the left. Right arm stretching away from you. Inhale back. Exhale, left arm, head over to the right. Bring yourself back to the centre. Relax your shoulders. Make sure your head's nice and relaxed. So we're going to come into figure of 4 again. So bring your right knee, your right foot up to your left knee. Take your hands out to balance you. We're going to put a rotation through our spine. So inhale, belly breath. Exhale, take your right foot down towards the floor. So you're putting the rotation through your back. Just be aware of where you feel it. I've got a stretch coming all the way through my glutes. It was quite tight as I put the leg over, but as I slowly took it over, it started to release. Just breathing your belly breath. So you can talk to the muscle that's feeling tight and see if it will relax. And then inhale. Slowly use your belly to bring the leg back up to the ceiling. And swap legs. So right leg down to the floor, left foot over onto the right leg. Inhale. And as you exhale, take your leg over to the side. Again, take a note of your body. Does it feel the same on this side as it did the other? We've always got some kind of imbalance somewhere. So just breathing gently. Remember your belly breath. Slowly allow the stretch to relax. Be more bearable, more comfortable. And then when you're ready, just inhale both knees back to the centre. Bring your left knee towards your chest as it's already up, and bring your right knee up to join it. Just gently rock from side to side, or up and down, or circular movements. Take them back the other way. And bring them to stillness. We're going to come into happy baby now. So from this bent knee position, widen your knees slightly and take your feet up to the sky. Grab your big toes if you can and slowly bring your knees down towards your chest. If you can't reach for your feet, you can always hold behind the knees and pull the knees down towards your armpits. Gently rock from side to side. And we're slowly going to release those feet to the floor. Bring your feet to the floor, but keep your knees bent. We're going to do a slow full body stretch. So take your arms up to the sky, intertwine your fingers, and slowly allow your hands to go down to the floor behind you. When they've reached there, slowly take your heels, keeping your heels on the floor. Slowly allow your heels to push away from you. My mat's quite sticky and my feet aren't rolling, so once I've caught my floor, I'm slowly stretching my legs out. Really lengthen through the body. Nice big stretch. Lovely. Don't forget a few belly breaths while you're here. And then on your next inhale, bring your left knee towards your chest, your right knee towards your chest, and your hands over to join it. We're going to come up to seated position. So we're going really slowly. We've been laying down for quite some time. So think about rolling over to your right. Gently take the legs over and slowly push yourself up. So just take some water. And we're going to come up onto our knees. We're going to do cat and cow. So my floor's really hard, so I'm just going to put the pillow under my knees. You can do the same if you want. It's entirely up to you. So I'm just going to turn slightly sideways so you can see my arch. So hands under your shoulders, knees under your hips. Nice and flat back. So think about your back being nice and flat. Starting off with cow, inhale, push your chest forward, lengthen through your chest. And then push your bottom away from you, pushing it up towards the sky, away from you at the back of the room, just gently stretching out the back. Push your hands into the floor, push your knees and your feet in. Just take a few breaths. And then on your next exhale, engage your tummy muscles, squeeze them to your spine and push your tummy muscles up to the ceiling rather than your spine. Really squeeze them in. Really feel like you're pushing up here, squeezing them in. Rest your head down. Again, push your hands and your knees into the floor. Coming in to cow. Push your chest forward. Open your head as your chest pushes up. Then push your bottom away from you. Up and away. And again. Coming in to cat. Push your belly towards your spine. Use your belly muscles to push your back up rather than your spine. Relax your head. And bring yourself back to neutral. And we're going to sit back into child's pose. So a nice wide knee to child's pose. Take your knees out to the outside of your mat. Big toes together. And this isn't about collapsing to the floor, taking your head to the floor. This is about just relaxing. So keeping your bottom down towards your feet. Come onto your elbows if you can. And just rest your head into your hands. Relax your shoulders, relax your head. Close your eyes. And as we've got a nice wide stance with our child's pose, think about your belly. Really big belly breaths. Just feel nice and calm. Focusing on your yoga, not the thoughts in your mind. So we're just going to change our feet posture within our child's pose. So bring your hands back into tabletop position, tuck your toes under and push back gently into downward dog. So now your toes change position. You're going to bring your knees back down to the floor. So if you want to bring them out wide, you just want to turn the feet slightly, bring the knees out. But the intention is to keep the feet tucked under, and then we're going to do child's pose again. So you can bring your elbows to the floor, rest your hands into your, rest your head into your hands if you want to. Just feel your toes stretching out underneath you. Allow the legs to relax. Don't forget that belly breath. And then we're going to come up from child's pose. We're just going to take the cushion out from under our knees. Bring our knees to the floor. So we're going to do runner's lunge, nice gentle stretch for the hips. So bring your left leg forward. And if you want to, just place your hands just either side of your leg. You want to try and keep your ankle and your knee nice and in line. So I'm just moving one forward slightly. And we're looking for a stretch to come through the hip. So just push your hips forward. And then as you exhale, take your bottom back towards the back of the room. We're trying to straighten out your left leg. And then inhale, bring it back, stretching the hip. Remember, if you can, to do a bit of belly breathing, just slowly going backwards and forwards. Inhaling forward. And exhaling back. And come back to your runner's lunge. We're going to swap feet, so the best way to do it is bring both hands together on one side. Take the leg back. Now swap the hands over to the other side. Bring the foot forward. And bring both hands opposite side of the leg. So then we're stretching forward into runner's lunge. Exhaling back, coming into a half split. So you're bringing this leg as straight as you can. To straighten it, sometimes you bring the foot up, and that might help straighten it a little bit more. Come into runner's lunge. And again, going back. Don't forget your belly breath. It's really hard to remember it all the time. And take it back one more time. Really feel that stretch in your hamstrings. And then come on board. So we're going to do, our next pose is going to be it's like side angle pose, which you'd normally do from a warrior 2 position, but we're doing it from a kneeling position. So bring your right leg back. We're going to take the left leg forward. This foot, at the moment, the foot is facing backwards, but what I want you to do is turn it so it's going back to about 45 degrees. And then we're going to lean this knee forward. So you're going to push your weight forward and take your elbow to your knee. So this is kind of like side angle pose. We've got the hips open. We're just going to inhale, take the arm up to the sky and bring the hand down behind your back. Hair's in the way, sorry. Just stretching out the arm. This arm can stay here, and if you wanted to, you could just bring the fingertips to the floor. And that helps to open the hips a little bit more. And then inhale, bring yourself up, release the leg. We need to swap sides. So I'm going to do this slightly differently so you can see me. So bring your right leg out to the side, and I've already got this leg in the right position. So take your hips towards the knee, push the knee forward, get your stretch coming through the leg. So this is, as I said, it's like a side angle. So you're facing forward with the knees going this way. So take your knee, your elbow down to your knee. Inhale your arm up, bend the arm a bit behind. Right. And if you want to, you can always take this hand down to the floor. And then inhale, bring yourself up and release. Okay, so bring the pillow under your knees again if you want to. We're just going to kneel on our knees. We're going to be upright. So your feet are just flat to the floor. Head's disappeared, sorry. Maybe a good thing, you never know. So what we're going to do is take our palms and put our palms onto our hips. So my elbows are sticking out to the side. I want my elbows to go backwards. So see if you can use your shoulders to push your elbows back. So now I've gone from having gaps between my arms to not being able to see the wall behind me. So we're just going to turn the head from side to side, just gently stretching the head. Stretch the neck, feel the neck. Make sure you're belly breathing as you do this. And bring your head to stillness. We're going to see about putting a circle into the head. So look up to the sky and just circle your head round from one side to the other, nice and slowly. Trying to keep those elbows back, opening the chest. If you're feeling uncomfortable, make the circle smaller with your head. Take the circle back the other way. Bring it back to stillness. Release your hands. Just sit back onto your knees. Feel after that stretch I need to do some form of twisting. So we're just going to do thread the needle. So you can stay on your pillow if you want. My floor's nice and hard, so I'm being gentle with my knees today. So just put your hands to the floor. Back's nice and neutral. We're going to take the right hand behind the left hand and just slowly bring the shoulder down to the floor, coming in to thread the needle. Your head comes down, relaxing to the floor. And if you want to, you can lift the left hand, take it up to the sky, or just rest it on your back, whatever works for you. Slowly feeling the rotation through your spine. Use your belly breath. It's easy to do belly breath in this one. Really let the belly sink towards the floor. And then release your hand, bring it back down to the floor. And as you inhale, push up towards tabletop. And we'll do the other side. So exhale, take the other hand down behind the wrist. Bring the head to the floor, resting on the shoulder. Inhale your arm up to the sky. Or if you want, rest the hand onto your back. They both have different purposes. This one slightly internally rotates the shoulder, having the arm up to the sky, externally rotates the shoulder. One more breath. And then as you exhale, bring your hand down to the floor. Inhale, push back into tabletop and sit yourself back into a nice wide-kneed child's pose. You can bring the head to the floor this time. Don't have to rest it in the hands. Relax, breathe deeply. And we're coming to Shavasana time. So slowly bring yourself out to child's pose. And bring yourself into a position that works for you. If you've got a sofa close by, then you can always sit your legs up on the sofa. You can even sit on the sofa if you wish. So take a towel and place the towel over your eyes, blocking out what little light there is today. So get yourself nice and comfortable. Be aware of your back. You don't want your back to be too arched on the floor. So try and find a neutral spine. And if that's not possible, you need to bend your knees up, taking the tension out of your knees, out of your back. Just allow yourself to breathe. Don't forget your belly breath. If you want to, you can rest your hands onto your belly and inhale and exhale, allowing your belly to expand as you breathe. And we're going to go on a walk along the river. You may recognise the walk as we're on Ferry Road in Holbridge and we're walking down towards the river where the road just disappears in to the river. There's always some swans and seagulls and geese waiting to be fed. It's a blue sky, there's a few clouds, puffy white ones. And the sun is warm on your skin. There's a gentle breeze. So just breathe nice and slowly and enjoy the view that you see. If you're a regular frequenter, you'll recognise the view and be able to create it yourself. But if you're not, I will try and recreate it for you. So we're going to go left for a change. We're going to go past Smuggler's Den. With the building on the left, the river on the right. You see the swans, the boats on their moorings. And the river is quite high today. You can see it running fast. It's still coming in, so the tide is still rising. And you can see the ripple of the water and the wind. And as we walk along, we're walking now through a little nature reserve, lots of trees and lots of chairs by the side of the river. And in normal circumstances, you might stop and stay. But we're going to carry on walking, and the path has got a nice crunchy texture to it. It's made of broken seashells. You can feel the crunch as you move your foot. And as we walk through, we come towards some houses. The houses are on the left, and there's a road between them and you. And then there's some little parts of their garden on the right-hand side by the river. There's lots of decking and chairs, lots of kind of entertaining stuff. There's lots of flowers, there's some red robins and some lilacs. And you come to a narrow little path between their gardens that takes you to the seawall. So if you're anything like me, you're like a good little nose, seeing what everybody's done with their garden. One of the houses is being renovated, so the garden's full of bricks and wood. But all the other houses, their gardens are very well kept. The grass is short. And there's lots of flowers in bloom. The decking is painted, and they've almost got picket fencing around the sides. And as you walk through towards the end, you see the seawall again, and we're just going to walk along the seawall. Keep walking one step, one foot in front of the other. It's just hard-baked mud that you're walking on now with a little bit of grass. But the most important thing is the scenery. We're past the houses, and to the left it's just field and trees. And the river is on the right. You see the tide flowing and the birds bobbing on the river. And over the other side of the river, you can see to Woodham Ferris, there's some houses, and if you look further upstream, there's a big caravan park or a static home. There's loads of them lined up along the river, some of them with jetties and boats on the river. If you're anything like me, you're like a good nose, see what everybody's up to. There's a flagpole with an English flag flying in the wind. There's a good breeze, so you can see the flag open fully. But the breeze isn't too cool, it's refreshing on your face. And this walk just makes you feel calm. There's two kind of levels to the path. There's one that's right up high overlooking the sea. There's another one on the other side, which is lower. So if you want to, you could walk down there. Depends on what you want to see. It's like a little river running on the left-hand side, a small river, which may have a few birds on it. It's got some reeds around the side of it. And it's like a little current as the wind blows on it. There's lots of things of interest. There's driftwood on the side of the river. There's a few boats, maybe some paddleboarders and some kayakers. Lots of birds flying around in the sky above us. path turns to the right, as does the river as it meanders round. There's less trees, but you get closer to the caravans, or the static caravans and homes on the other side, so the view is a little bit more visible. You can see people sitting on the decking. They could be working on their boats. And you look up, there's a flock of birds flying overhead. The warmth of the sun is calming to your skin and to your mind. It's a lovely day. It's amazing what we can do with our imagination. So breathing gently, aware of your belly rising and falling. Just keep admiring the view that we've set up in your mind, adding into it whatever you wish. The smell of the sea, a little bit of seaweed, and the fresh breeze, the sun and the warmth on your skin. And the feeling of your body relaxing as you walk. So let's think about bringing the body back into the real world. Just take a few breaths, bring some life back into your body. Think about wiggling your fingers and your toes, maybe moving your neck from side to side. And we're going to do a full body stretch. So if you're sitting on the sofa, it's still possible. If you're laying with your legs up the sofa, it's still possible. So on your inhale, just breathe nice and deeply, and on your exhale, take your hands over your head towards the back of the room. Stretch out your legs. Point your fingers and your toes away from each other. Feel the stretch come through your back. And then as you exhale, slowly bring one knee to your chest, then the other. Bring your hands around your knees and rock gently in Apanasana, moving side to side. And then we're going to take a really slow come up. So I would like you to roll over to the right, take your whole body down to the right. Put your hands to the floor and slowly bring yourself up. This has been a very calming session, so it's really important to stay calm. Don't let the blood rush too quickly. So bring yourself up to a cross-legged position. Sit nice and tall. Get yourself nice and comfy. Breathing and relaxing. And I hope you feel a calmness that has happened throughout the whole session. A nice chill out session to calm the nerves and untangle your mind. So please bring your hands to your heart center and give yourself praise and credit for your efforts today. Om Shanti. Namaste.